everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And you can see that I'm almost halfway through the reading. And yes, I was almost halfway through the reading, and then the camera stopped working for some mysterious reason. And it's quite an interesting reading, quite interesting cards. So I've decided to just restart the reading. You're going to have to just trust me that these are the cards that showed up when I shuffled and laid them out on the tarot table. Today I am looking at the past. I'm going back into the mists of time and looking at late 2019 because the Daily Mail has been dredging up stories from way back then, and the particular story that I'm looking at now with the Lunar Soul Tarot is about plans that were being hatched in late 2019 to move Harry and Meghan to South Africa. And I remember at the time these rumours. I remember rumours of house hunting in Cape Town. And according to this article, the Queen was very supportive of this notion that they take some time out from being working royals. They enjoy some time like she had when she was a newlywed, and they lived in Malta, and it was her happiest time, basically. And the plans were being drawn up, according to the Daily Mail, by Sir Christopher Gite to give everybody a breather. Interesting expression. I thought, and worth digging around and seeing what everybody needed a breather from. And the proposal was that Meghan could carry on doing her feminine hygiene stuff like she'd done already in India and Rwanda. She could be humanitarian in Africa and embrace her African roots. And Harry could get some sort of role in the Commonwealth, which matched, and I'm quoting, but did not threaten the heirs. So obviously there was some argy-bargy in the background already over status and roles and stuff like that, and they needed to find something for Harry to do, and Meghan, that would make him feel important but wouldn't overshadow Prince William and his role as heir. So anyway, all of this was of course derailed when Meghan gave her interview to Tom Bradby in South Africa, that infamous tour of South Africa, where the Parkles did not behave very well, visibly showed up looking kind of bedraggled, hungover, whatever. It was the most expensive royal tour ever, apparently. I wasn't aware of that. And then, of course, nobody asked if I'm okay interview, and that was the end of that. No more South Africa, and Megxit instead. So we're going to have a look at this. As I say, I've already started having a look at this with the Lunar Soul Tarot and see what's going on. Underlying energy I got was the King of Cups in reverse, and I felt that this was Harry's energy. Someone who had possibly been quite content up until quite recently, but was now all over the place emotionally, very volatile, very difficult, very upset, maybe being wound up to be upset by Meghan, sort of drip-fed reasons to be begrudging and jealous and difficult and all the rest of it. That's how I'm speculating it would have gone. And of course, disclaimer, which I said in the previous reading, same applies here. Tarot for entertainment purposes, all my opinion and speculation, just reading energy, and disclaimer in the box below. But I think that's Harry's energy. Upset, volatile, out of control emotionally, being just really difficult and quite immature. The King of Cups in reverse can be very immature emotionally. Just saying. That's the underlying energy. Then, of course, the central issue in this reading showed up as the Queen of Wands in reverse, which is why I decided this reading was worth keeping on the tarot table. That, of course, is Meghan's energy. Queen of Wands in reverse. So they're both showing up in reverse here. And the Queen of Wands in reverse is very difficult, very demanding, full of drama. She is the drama queen. Insistent, egotistical, angry, aggressive. We'd had all the bullying stories. As I say, she showed up and gave that interview with Tom Bradby that was just stunning in a very negative way, shocking even. So there they are. the two of them in reverse on the tarot table, the underlying energy and the heart of it all. Why plans had to suddenly be hatched to give everybody a breather. So what was going on that everybody needed a breather? And we have the Eight of Wands, and it's in reverse. Now, the Eight of Wands is communication. It's the press. It's briefing and counter briefing. It's progress that's being blocked. And of course, Harry and Meghan were very ambitious, thought that they could get at least half of what William and Catherine were entitled to, allegedly. But so their progress was being blocked, or they felt that they were being thwarted. But also it's about the press. It's about their feeling that the press was being very harsh towards them. Communication card in reverse. They're feeling that royals, courtiers, but actual royals were briefing the press, were leaking negative stories to try and undermine them, block their progress, and promote William and Catherine instead, whereas they should have been the most important. So it's all about the media and the briefing and counter briefing. And of course, something had happened. The thing that went bump at Birkenhead had happened that the press all saw, allegedly. So they were very anxious, Harry and Meghan, about what the press might come out and say, in my opinion, allegedly. So how did the Queen feel about this? She had enjoyed her time in Malta, thought that maybe Harry and Meghan could benefit from some time out, some perspective, take them away from the hotbed of palace politics and all of that stuff. So what did she feel about the situation? And I got the Eight of Cups in reverse. It's a card of sorrow, leaving your sorrows behind when it's upright, but staying in misery when it's in reverse. And I think that she realized that the combination of this King of Cups in reverse and this Queen of Wands in reverse meant that wherever they went and whatever they did, they would be unhappy. And that's rather a sad realization, but it confirms the energy that I got in the previous reading about Harry and Meghan, where I got a very similar insight from the late Queen that she realized that no matter what they did and where they went, they would take their sorrows with them. So moving on to Harry and Meghan themselves and how they felt about possibly moving to South Africa, which was being planned by Sir Christopher Guide. Harry, I got the Hanged One in reverse. It's the card of punishment and disempowerment when it's upright. He felt that he would become more powerful in Africa. He would have more agency. He would be able to do things his own way. He would stop being punished and victimized and sacrificed by the royal family. He felt obviously very strongly that while he was in the institution, he was being sacrificed for William, because Queen of Wands would have whispered in his ear, but things that were already festering, I believe, in him. How would she feel going to South Africa? Eight of Swords, a trap. She did not want this at all. She would feel stuck, confined in a very small world, not the world she wanted to be in. She would be quite frightened. The Eight of Swords is a card of fear. Imaginary fears mostly, but we did hear that she didn't think South Africa was safe enough for her, and yes, it is a very dangerous country, but you know, they have all the security in the world and would have had all the security in the world. We don't, just basic average South Africans, we don't have that level of security on tap whenever we want it. But she did not feel safe here. Interesting. I think she was frightened of coming to South Africa. My personal opinion. So let's look at now Harry and his role in the Commonwealth, that he could feel Mr. Important but wouldn't rival Prince William, basically threaten the heir, as the article expresses it. Tell us about that. And we've got the competition card. The Five of Wands, literally the competition card, scrapping, competing, arguing with your siblings, your rivalry. It's friendly rivalry when it's upright. In the reverse, it can be quite dirty dealings, playing dirty, being over competitive, over aggressive. And he certainly had got that way with Prince William. And we heard all about it in Spare, of course. So it's also the sense that he felt that he would lose in whatever competition with Prince William, because Prince William was the firstborn and he was only the spare. So I'm getting real sort of self-pity in that card, as well as the desire to oust his brother and best his brother, basically fueled by poison fed to him that he already had in his soul, in my opinion. How about herself and doing humanitarian work in Africa with girls and women and all that stuff? Did it appeal? And we got the World. And my sense with this World card is that it didn't appeal, that she thought she had bigger fish to fry. The whole world was to be her stage, not just Africa, not little charities, not having to sit, with little kids and flies and runny noses and all that sort of thing, real genuine poverty and suffering. She didn't want any of that. That's my opinion. This is entirely my reading of this World card, that she wanted to be seen in all her glory. She wanted to ascend the global stage. Africa wasn't enough. She wanted the whole world. And we've seen that with their 4 tours that they have gone on and apparently are still planning, to my horror and dismay. But this wasn't the outcome that she envisaged. It's completion energy, it's fame, it's success, it's glory, it's splendor, it's maximum accomplishment. Doing little charities in Africa doesn't fit that card for me energetically at all. Would never have worked. So I want to know about this Tom Bradby interview now. Why did she do it? Just generally, why did she go there? What was it about? And I've got the Moon in reverse, and the Moon is misery, but also Diana. It's a Diana card. She wanted her Diana moment of, the look. She had got the look down pat, that Diana sort of droopy-eyed look and looking out of the corner of her eye, and I'm so sorry for myself, and you must all be so sorry for me. Very manipulative look, in my opinion. I would never have thought so 30, 40 years ago, but I do think that now, thanks entirely to Meghan Markle. But it's Diana. She wanted her Diana moment. And her Martin Bashir interview, she just needed that, because she wanted to be Diana too, and it wasn't working out that way. And they were about to get banished to South Africa, and she would have viewed it as banishment. And she didn't want that. She wanted to be as popular. She wanted to be the Queen of Hearts and all that rot. And so we got this moment of, I'm so sad, I'm so depressed, I'm suffering, the Moon, all of that's in the Moon, just like my dear mother-in-law. So that's the big why. Was she actively trying to sabotage any hint of moving to South Africa with doing this? Or am I just being extra suspicious? We got the High Priestess in reverse. Interesting that these 2 cards are quite similar. High Priestess and the Moon. Female mysteries around female power, hormones, children, birth, all that kind of stuff. But also initiation, secrets, mysteries, the occult, all of that kind of stuff in both of these. Both of these cards have potential for secrets to come out, and I think she was quite hoping that secrets would come out, the secrets she wanted to reveal, not the secrets that the press might know and be itching to reveal. She wanted stuff to come out, her truth to be revealed, so that people would be sorry for her, sympathetic for her. She could get that momentum going for her, because I personally believe she always had the plan of going back to California. She kept her agent, her business manager, her lawyer, her everybody in LA. She didn't cut any of that out of her life. She kept it all going. She was making all those deals already with Oprah and Netflix and the rest of them. She wanted what she wanted. She wanted the world. And so I think she was being very strategic and very manipulative. Both of those cards for me, the Moon and the High Priestess, are very manipulative and very using, signaling, messaging, language, magic even. That's a very strong word. I don't mean it literally. But that power of persuasion and suggestion and all that kind of stuff to hypnotize us. but also to hypnotize and convince Harry. So, LA, final destination. How did it land for Harry? Just generally. Is he delighted to be there? Ace of Cups in reverse, no. Is a no, literally ace in reverse. Generally you read as a no. Very unhappy. I think felt that their marriage would possibly have done better in Africa, in South Africa, where he was happier. And of course he had all his Chelsea Davy memories. But it's turned out to be a very unhappy experience for him. And whatever affection was in the relationship prior to moving to LA, I think it just withered and died almost immediately. She got out of the private jet that Tyler Perry sent to fetch them from Canada. How about Megan in LA? We got the Star in reverse. It has not turned out to be the amazing experience she thought it was going to be. She had a tremendous amount of hope for herself going back to California. She thought she was going to be a star. She thought she was going to be an A+++ kind of celebrity in Hollywood, in Montecito. It's turned out to be anything but. It's been very disappointing. I think she's had moments of real depression as a result of how it has gone. She had great hope. She thought this was her destiny, her divine purpose in life. Doing little, girls groups, helping them with whatever in Africa. No, certainly not. It was all about celebrity, the Star card. Of course, being close to Oprah, the Aquarian, also in that card. It has not worked out. She got the Oprah interview. It would have been lined up already. It did not turn out the way she thought it was going to. And this Tom Bradby interview was setting the scene for the Oprah interview, in my opinion. It did not turn out the way she thought it was going to. But then life very often doesn't turn out the way you think it's going to. That is the reading. Sorry about the false starts and the weird noises and all the rest of it. We got there in the end. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.